Please recognize, once again, Representative Kevin West to present House Bill 1223.
Clerk will read.
House Bill 1223 by West Kevin of the House and Fricks of the Senate, an act relating to daylight savings time.
Representative West Kevin, you're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, House Bill 1223 would repeal the bill that we passed last year and replace it with standard time. I think most of the members noticed that a couple of weeks ago, we still sprung forward, and back in November, we still fell back, even though we had supposedly locked the clock on daylight saving time. This bill would actually lock the clock. I move for adoption and yield for questions.
Member yields. We're going to go one question, one follow-up. West Rick, you're recognized for one question, one follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, what is standard time?
Standard time is what we were on. We are currently on daylight saving time.
You're recognized for follow-up.
Well, what time does it get daylight in standard time?
Well, it depends on what time of year it is. And because the sun, because of the rotation of the earth and the axis, the time that the sun actually appears and sets is at different times. But generally speaking, I think what you're talking about is, would we get daylight earlier in the morning or later in the evening? And with standard time, you would get it more in the morning than the evening.
Members, please take your seats, take your conversations outside. Representative Waldron, you're recognized for one question, one follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, if we vote for this bill, can we get the last hour of our lives back?
I certainly hope so.
Do pass, Representative, do pass. Representative Crosswhite Hader, recognized for a question and follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, if we pass this bill, do we have to get any other approval from the federal government?
No, we do not. The way that the Uniform Time Act is written at the federal level clearly states that states can opt out of daylight saving time, but they cannot opt out of standard time.
Representative West Kevin now moves that House Bill 1223 be advanced in order. That objection now to be ordered. Third reading of the bill.
House Bill 1223 by West Kevin of the House and Fricks of the Senate, an act relating to daylight savings time.
Representative West Kevin now moves final passage of the bill. Will there be debate? There will be debate. Members wishing to debate in favor of the measure, please signify by pressing your green button. Members wishing to debate against the measure, please signify by pressing your red button. Representative West Kevin, you care to debate in favor of your bill? Or against, your choice. Close the queue. Those debating in favor of the measure, Representative West Kevin for up to 10 minutes. Speaking against the measure, Representative Fetgatter for up to 10 minutes, and Leader West Josh for up to 10 minutes. Leader West Josh waves. Members, we're in debate. Representative Fetgatter, you're recognized for up to 10 minutes debating against the measure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, the only reason I jumped in the queue is because last year, this body, as well as the body across the rotunda, we voted in large numbers that we wanted daylight savings
Representative
time.
Fetgatter, please direct your debate to the chair.
Mr. Speaker, not standard time, which gives us less daylight at the end of the day. And so now, in the representative from Moore and myself, we officed together a while. We had this debate back when we were freshmen. But members, I'll tell you, you can go look at the statistics, and here's what they're going to tell you, whatever the hell you want them to tell you. It doesn't matter if you're for daylight savings time or standard time. If you're for standard time, you're going to find arguments of why standard time is better for your health. If you want daylight savings time, you're going to find statistics that say why It's better for your health, or whatever you want to find. You know why? Because people pay people to do research to give them what they want. And that's the problem in this world, is we can go hire a researcher for a certain amount of money and they'll tell us what we want to hear. But the facts are this body overwhelmingly voted for daylight savings time last year, and we are waiting for Congress to move and act. It has been a hot topic among Congress recently. In fact, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has recently brought this issue up. And because I passed that bill last year, I actually go look to see what people around the world are saying. And people want the daylight at the end of the day, not in the beginning of the day. Now, you're going to hear my colleagues stand up and tell you about kids standing at a bus stop in the dark, which is just bunk. Because if you actually look at it, it's right at twilight, yes, but it's not dark. And I grew up in the 80s. I'm an 80s kid. Sometimes I think the whole world's just got too doggone soft. You know what? I walked to school in ice in snow with wet hair and had icicles hanging out of my ears whenever I got there. But today, that would be child abuse. And so a kid most parents will sit there with their kids at the bus stop in the car. So I'm just telling you, we overwhelmingly said that our constituents want daylight savings time, because when we put a vote on the board, I'm assuming that everybody in this building is voting based on what you believe your constituents want. So are you telling me a year later that all of a sudden they've changed their minds? I encourage you to vote this bill down, because your constituents have already told you they want daylight savings time year-round. Yes, I will agree with the author that they want to lock the clocks, but they do not want to lock the clocks and it get dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you for the debate. Representative West Kevin, you're recognized for up to 10 minutes debating in favor of the measure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And if you want to talk about bunk, total bunk is that it would be dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at any point in time here in Oklahoma, unless there's a big storm coming. What this bill will do, and what the members need to know, is that we have two choices. We can continue to change the clocks 2 times a year, or we can lock the clock. And the only way that we can lock the clock is to go to standard time. And what my constituents have told me is that they want to lock the clock. So there's one way to do that, one way only. There's not a single state in the union that is on daylight saving time year-round. Now, the previous debater did mention one thing, and yes, I am going to mention this. In 1974, the entire United States got put on permanent daylight saving time year-round, and that was to help curb the energy crisis. Everybody was really happy about that when it first happened, because it happened in the spring. By the time it got to the winter, states like Oklahoma, for one, did a resolution demanding that the federal government either end daylight saving time or allow us to go on mountain time, which would effectively do the same thing. And the federal government actually listened to these states, and they ended that because, yes, it is true that kids were going to school in the dark in the winter, because in the winter the sun doesn't come up until well after 8 o'clock. So what this proposes to do is give you the opportunity to actually, for real, lock the clock. With that, I urge the members to vote yes, and I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you for the debate. Members, you've heard the debate. The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Clerk, please activate the machine. Start to announce roll call in the hall. Roll call is now in progress. Pittman, nay. Dempsey, nay. Kane, aye. Shaw, aye. Turner, nay. Archer, aye. Members are reminded if you're in the chamber, you're required to vote. Representative Lowe Dick, do you care to vote? Members wishing to vote or change your vote. Chair is preparing to close. Declare the vote.
40 aye, 54 nay.
Having failed to receive a majority vote of those elected to constitute the House, I declare the bill to have failed.